What I want to emphasize, though, is that there was real danger tonight. A fire at a nuclear power plant is a dangerous thing, especially if firefighters are not able to reach the plant because they're literally being shot at on the way there. And I think going forward, obviously I think Russia should get out of Ukraine entirely, but to avoid a repeat of tonight that could potentially end much worse, I think it's extremely important that Russia keeps all operations, military operations, well away from nuclear power plants. A lot would depend on what munitions were used. If a highly penetrating munition designed to go through concrete was used, we could be talking about something very different. Now, those kind of munitions do not appear to have been used around the plant tonight. Rather, it was munitions, the kind of weapons that are likely to cause fires when they're used. I mean, there were reports of shelling. I don't know how accurate they were, small arms fires. The point is not that you're gonna, with those kind of smaller weapons, you're not gonna kind of rupture the containment of the reactor or the reactor vessel directly. Rather, the concern is particularly creating fires that, if left to burn unchecked, particularly because firefighters can't reach the plant, critical safety systems are destroyed. Nuclear power plants rely on external grid connections. They rely on electricity from a nation's grid to cool themselves after they've shut down. Now, they have backup power supply sources on site, particularly diesel generators, but the first line of defense in the event a reactor is shut down is cooling using power from a nation's power grid. Attacks against Ukraine's power grid, if that were to happen, would have nuclear safety implications by shutting off, by depriving reactors of a connection to the grid. Under normal circumstances, the likelihood of a reactor losing power and of the emergency diesel generators being damaged, and of not being able to repair that equipment quickly is very, very small. But in a war, all of these different failures that would have to happen for a reactor to become damaged and melt down, the likelihood of all of those happening becomes much more likely than it does in peacetime. And so, I emphasize, taking out a reactor's grid connection in and of itself won't lead to an accident, but it is the removal of one layer of defense for the plant. And in a war situation, there is a concerningly high chance that those other layers of defense will be stripped away as well.